Graham Mertz made some comments yesterday that were fairly impressive. And as long as I've been around football, they still somewhat surprised me. As we get started today, thank you all for joining me. If this is your first time or you've been here before, I appreciate you. Okay, so what happened? Yesterday, UF quarterback Graham Mertz went on the Paul Feinbaum show and made a statement that seemed to really resonate with UF fans and supporters. I'll play that clip in case you haven't seen it, and then we'll talk about it.
Nowadays, everybody always says, like, prove the haters wrong. And honestly, the theme for this team is prove each other right. I mean, we know what we got to do. We all want to win. Everybody in this building wants to win. So for us, we're out here, we know what people are saying, but we're here to prove each other right. We're here to strive together to go win. And that's hands down 24/7. That's what we're doing. I mean, I think on a team, especially in college football, I mean, the camaraderie you have with your brothers, with the coaches, and that trust is everything. And that's what, when you get in the game in the fourth quarter down 10, that's what's going to pull you through to go get it right.
Okay, so I have kind of a lot of thoughts on this clip. All right, first of all, what a leader that Graham Mertz is. I think that UF is so fortunate to have him coming back for another year as a quarterback. There's a lot of new recruits that are in place that are Billy Napier's guys, but they're young, right? And they need a leader. And I think that Graham Mertz has really proven himself to be such a strong leader in the locker room, which is definitely not something that we heard about when he was coming over from Wisconsin. And I know we've talked about it on this channel a lot, but everybody talked about it being a terrible pickup, that Graham Mertz wasn't going to accomplish anything at Florida. He wasn't great at Wisconsin. That was going to be more of the same at UF, game manager at best. I think that we've seen his talent on the field has so far exceeded our expectations, but I think where really Florida hit a home run here was on his leadership qualities and what he brings to the locker room. Sitting also in that locker room is Florida's biggest recruit in a really long time in DJ Lagway. He is the crown jewel of Billy Napier's recruiting class. And the fact that he gets to sit there and learn from somebody like Graham Mertz, I think is invaluable. But the other thing that stood out to me is he talked about proving each other right as opposed to proving others wrong. And I think that that is so important because as soon as you get lost in the minutia of what's being said in the media or what fans think or anything like that, you start to lose the identity of the team, you start to lose the locker room, and it's just not a great recipe for winning, right? But when you inside the locker room believe in each other, have a goal, have a common purpose, that's where winning happens. And the other thing that I think is really important in this equation is that this quote shows that they do understand the pressure. These kids read, they hear, they see everything that's said about them on ESPN, on social media, from the fans in these message boards and chats and things like that. And it is impossible to block out all of the noise, right? We always say that to these kids, like, don't listen to the haters, block out the noise. It's not important, but it is impossible to do. However, you can hear it, but also not let it affect your play or even use it as motivation. And it seems like their head is in the right spot because it shouldn't be about proving somebody else wrong. That's not the right reason to want to win and be successful. It is about playing for your brothers. It is about playing to the best of your ability and letting the outside world know what you believe on the inside. You believe in your coaches. You believe in your teammates. You believe in the game plan that has been put together. You think that the work that you have put in is enough to improve. And then fall comes around and that's your chance to show it. You're not trying to prove others wrong. He's exactly right. You're trying to prove yourselves right. We did it the right way. We followed the plan. We believed in our coaches. We trusted each other. We worked as hard as we could possibly work during the offseason. And now we get to reap the rewards in the fall. And, this is the kind of guy that players want to play for. This is the kind of guy that players want to follow, that coaches want to coach. I just think it really speaks very highly to the culture that's going on within the locker room. And it's hard to win without good culture, right? So I think that this interview is almost kind of a feather in Billy Napier's cap. It is some early proof that things are moving in the right direction, that the plan is working, that your players are still 100% bought in, despite the negativity that they're hearing around them. Think about the young guys that are there, the DJ Lagways, the LJ McCrays, the guys that are coming in that probably should just be celebrating their prom, right? That are in that locker room. How many other teams negatively recruited Florida to them? How many told them the culture can't be good because they're not winning? Those coaches won't be here long because they're not winning. They don't have a great plan because they're not winning. Graham Mertz just pointed out that that's not true, that there's a great culture in that locker room, that they do trust the plan, that they do trust each other, that they get along, that they have a great relationship, not only within the players, but between the players and the coaches. And I think that that's so important for those young guys to see and experience. And, listen, it's just talk at this point, right? It is April. We haven't even gotten to see the spring game, and then there's a long time until we kick off at August. But this has to make Gator fans feel excited about the possibilities. And that's what spring's about, right? Spring is about hope. And I think that this is something that Gator fans can get a little bit excited about. Now, I want to talk about where we are in this offseason, but first, I want to give some love to Meldon Law. If you're in Gainesville, Ocala, Fort Lauderdale, or Lake City, and you are either in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, your consultations with Meldon Law are absolutely free. They have been serving Florida since 1971 and are a proud partner and supporter of all Florida Gator athletics. Make sure that you follow them on social media and stick around for the end of this video to see a quick clip from them. Okay, so the season, August. We got a little while to get there. And so much is going to come down to Miami to open the year. It almost feels like there's almost less excitement from the fan base this offseason because I get it. Just win, baby. We want to see the play on the field. And there's not a whole lot we can get super jacked about until that happens. But you know what? Maybe that's a good thing for this team. Last year, we hyped and honestly, maybe even probably overhyped the program. And all of us were left disappointed. This year, it just comes down to what happens on the field. It is less about what is said and much more about what is done. We know that this staff knows how to say the right things. We have listened to them say the right things for 3 years, but can they put it together? That is what everybody is going to be looking for. But at the end of the day, I am still excited to see that their head is in the right place. That is a good thing. That bodes well for the rest of spring, all of summer, and heading into fall. And it's totally evidence that their head is in the right place by the things that Mertz and even others have recently gone on record and said. This is a good thing for Gator fans. Now, I'm not sitting here saying we're going to win 10 games. Florida's going to be a contender for the SEC title. I'm not overpromising, but I am excited that this locker room is cohesive, that they have strong leadership, and that they all seem to be on the same page as the coaching staff. All right, guys, I appreciate you all a ton for tuning in. I missed you guys over the last week, but I am happy to be back on here. Talk to you guys soon. And as always, go Gators.
After the car accident, your personal life takes a toll when you have major injuries. Being a mother of 3 kids, having to work, it became overwhelming. Didn't know what was going to be my outcome, but Meldon Law actually, they went above and beyond.
At Meldon Law, we're not just your legal team, we're your support system. You do not have to go through this alone. At Meldon Law, we won't back down.